Hello, thank you for stopping by my channel today. It's Randy from Dreamy Bohemian, and today I have a couple of paper pads to show you for my current project that I'm working on. I had an Amazon seller reach out to me and ask me to review their paper pads. They sent me one and then I went in and bought another one. And so I want to do a little flip through of the paper pads today that are actually really nice. And it's 6x6 paper pad, 160 GSM heavyweight cardstock. And this is the number that it gave when I ordered it for this pack. And this is kind of grungy mixed media backgrounds, which I really, really love. And that's why I chose this one. And so I'll show them to you. Now these are they 12 in a pack? We'll count them as we go. It might actually say on this one, yeah, 12 different designs, 24 sheets. Okay, so here's all the patterns on here, and I just love these. So they don't have a design on the back, but I kind of prefer that because then that way I don't have to choose which one I want to use and give up the other one. So I hate when that happens because I'm always so indecisive. That kind of looks like a Tim Holtz background almost. But aren't these just beautiful? You could put these backgrounds on a tag and your tag would already be done for you, and then you could do the focal point. I really like that one a lot. That one is really pretty. It looks like paint splatter. Look at that. That one looks like old walls. I love that. This is some script in it. And it looks like a stencil pattern here. And then look at that. That looks like another stencil pattern. This is my favorite. I love this one. And so that is this one. The quality is really pretty good. It's nice and thick. If you like your scrapbook paper to be thick like that. Sometimes I like mine thin when I like to collage with it, but this is a good weight. And this one is 21043. This is the ombre. I really love this one. These are acid and linen free. I'm not sure how you say that. Scrapbooking by Panalisa. Again, 160 GSM cardstock 6x6. Look at these. Aren't they pretty? They look like they're marbleized. Oh, where'd that? Oh yeah, there it is. These would be great backgrounds as well. Look at that deep broody blue. Have that. I'll put the link down in the description box for these if you want to go check them out. They had several other designs as well. I just thought these were really pretty. Look at that. That almost looks like space. Very pretty. I love these colors. You know I love my blues and my corals. So, so pretty. I mean, it almost looks like you can see gold, the gold flakes in there. It is just gorgeous. The way that they did that is really pretty. So what I'm going to do with these today, because I've been wanting to do something like this again. So this happened to be, let me pan out a little bit. Yeah, this thing is huge. I made these out of a regular size letter file folder when we did a swap in the group Boho Daydreams for a flow type journal. And so what you were supposed to do was create a journal where you put in papers where people could just pull them out when they wanted to use them for journaling or what have you. And mine is so thick. Look at that. It's really thick. And let's see how thick it is. It's a little over 3 3 inches. Yeah, it's pretty thick. But I had such a good time collaging on here, and I haven't collaged in a while, and I've really been missing it. But this is what the inside looks like. So I've got some fabric on the inside. And then for the signatures, I just have some seam binding, and I have done holes to run it through, and then you kind of wrap your paper around it. That's not really what I want to make today, but I want to make it in this style. And see, on the outside I put fabric here, and it goes on the cover, and it holds it together. And then I just have a piece of cardstock here in the middle to make it sturdier. But there's the back of it, and I thought that these papers that I got would be beautiful on something like this. So I hope you'll come along with me and hang out for a bit, because I just want to collage with you today. I have this checks box here, and I've been saving it because I've been wanting to, you know, recycle and reuse stuff. I don't want to feel like I have to go buy something all the time, and so I've been saving this box, and I'm gonna cut that up, and then what I may do is cut it in smaller sections, you know, after I collage it, kind of like a master board, and just see what I come up with after that. See if I can get this thing cut out. See, that could be a good spine if I want it to be that thick. That's probably 1.5 to 2 inches there. I'm not a good cutter. I should probably get my paper cutter out. Let's cut these off. That would make a good skinny tag. That would make a good tab. You can do so many things with recycling packaging. Ooh, I'm getting a little bit into that. Oh, I've got these. So I hope everyone is having a great weekend. It's Saturday, and it finally got warm here, and I'm so happy. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for it to get warm, and it just kept getting cold again, and yeah, so finally warm. I think I'm gonna grab my paper cutter for this. Let's see. This is just a cheaper Fiskars. I need to get a new, more sturdy paper cutter. I keep wearing the blades out on these so much. Maybe I need to get one of those rotary cutters. But this just comes in handy. Let's see. Here we go. I make Chex Mix for Christmas and give the kids, and they love it. And so I just decided to save those boxes because they're nice and big. Actually, I'm going to see if I can't straighten this out too, because I did not cut straight. Oh, maybe I need to go in a little bit. There we go. I should probably check the other one too. Which side did I cut? Oh yeah, this one. That will be most helpful. Okay. Get all that out of the way. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that for now. So I have gone through some magazines a little bit and fussy cut out some things that I liked. But I want to do that some more just to show you how easy it is to find images anywhere you look. So these are some that I cut out already, just kind of sitting around at night. I didn't finish that one, but so I have these things and some flowers. And that's just kind of some pieces of paper that I had pulled out of the magazine that I was starting to cut up. And so I just have those handy. And then I grabbed this magazine. I love this magazine, Vintage Cottage. And they always have some fun pictures in here. Just going to flip through here and see what I can find that might be a good focal point. That's actually cute right there. Love that. And I might cut out these guys too. They might be too big though. That's neat. Just kind of roughly cut around that. And then maybe I'll take that. That would be really cool, just as an accent somewhere. Okay, what else? Old things are better than new things because they've got stories in them. I really like that quote. And I always check on the other page to make sure there's nothing that I want. And then I'll go ahead and cut that out. That's a pretty big quote as well. And I may not use it, but I'll have it for later if I don't. Just kind of rough cutting. It doesn't really matter. All right, let's move on. That fork is cute. I could cut that fork out. Look at that. I love that. That swan is really pretty, and there's just writing on the back, so I'm definitely going to cut that out. So I decided to speed this up for you because, you know, you don't need to sit and watch me fussy cut everything. Even though I'd love to chit chat with you while I'm fussy cutting, it seems like people get bored and they just either click off the video or they, you know, fast forward. So I know it's a mixed bag about who really wants to chit chat and who really doesn't. And so sometimes when there's a lot of the same thing going on, I just will speed through. But let me know in the comments your thoughts on that, because I think a lot of people, you know, like to chit chat, and then a lot of people don't. I don't know. It just confuses me so much. I just don't know which way to go sometimes. Anyway, so I'm cutting out a lot of really cute items here. One of these is a bunny, and there was some Limoges boxes there that I thought were so cute that I found some really cute animals on. And then some words, which are always wonderful, and flowers and books. This magazine is just so rich in vintage types of images, and so it really depends on what your magazine is or what you're looking through as to what kind of images you're going to get and to what, you know, the theme of your collage is going to be according to what you're cutting out. Now, I guess you can mix and match and, you know, put things in your stash, and then you would have all these collage items to look back on. But I'm just going to use what I found in this magazine today for my collage. And sometimes I'll pull out a page and save the whole page for later, just because the images are really cute, like I did the Limoges boxes. I took that whole page. I love clock faces. This is one of my favorite collage things to cut out. Harvesting images from a magazine is just super fun to me. I love doing it in the evenings when, you know, I don't have anything to do and I feel like I need to be doing something. That's a really good project for me to do. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of magazines laying around, and, you know, they don't really do much for me unless I'm using them. So I just cut them up. Another word there. Like I said, this magazine has some really pretty images in it. I love faces and things too. Fashion magazines are good for collaging. There's catalogs, you know, all kinds of things that you can get images from. Junk mail. You don't have to go out and even buy a magazine. We probably all have magazines sitting around. One of my favorite things that I find in magazines is what I was just cutting out right there was a sun mirror, and those are vintage usually, and I love finding those in magazines. And I also have some book pages, some music, and some ledger that I may use. I don't know. But I'll just show you how we start here. All right, I need my Mod Podge. Not Mod Podge. Why do I always say that? My matte medium fluid. I've got some heavy gesso. I need a brush to put on the matte medium. And I need a palette knife always, but that'll come later, really, the heavy gesso and stuff. So matte medium is what we're going to use for now. And I'm just going to start taking this paper. I'm going to rip it. And then I'm just going to start laying it down. So I'm really liking this. I love these papers, the marbling in them. And I didn't think I was going to be using the marbling ones, but I really like that. And so I'm trying to figure out where my eye keeps going and make sure I get things evened out. So I think I'm going to put some ledger up here. I don't know if I want it to go sideways or up and down, so let's see. Sideways. Yeah, up and down. All right, so I'm going to leave that to dry, and I'm going to do the other one. All right, so I think I'm going to do more of these on this one and just see what happens. So my collage boards are all dry now, and I've already cut one of them, the edges around it, and so I'm just going to cut the next one off. As you can see, I have some overage here. Just going to cut that off. My window's open, so if you hear weird noises, that's why. My neighbor has goats and some pigs and a horse, chickens, you know, the whole 9 yards. So the goats make really funny noises sometimes. So if you hear that, you know, just ignore the weirdness. So I've decided that I'm going to cut this into 3s. I think I'm going to measure it out here in just a minute and see if that will work. So I thought that I would make some covers for some smaller journals. So I'm just going to draw some lines here. That way I know where I want to cut the paper for the covers, and then that will help me determine where I'm going to lay the pieces for my collage. So I'm just using a ruler to help me get that straight. Make sure I'll be able to see the lines as I collage. So I just start taking my images and randomly placing them where I think they might fit well. I don't really have a plan. I just kind of start in one spot and then move on to the next. So here I'm going to use my matte medium again. I'm just going to make sure I get a good portion of that so that the image will stick to the paper, and then you put a layer on top as well, just like we did the base papers. If you don't get enough under there, you can always pull it up and just put some more. So since I didn't perfectly cut out the images, I'm just going to finish fussy cutting them as I lay them down. It's a cute little sign there that said flea market on it. I thought that would be really cute on there. Just laying down some of the flowers and then just seeing what happens. Fussy cutting the clock. And as you can see, I just kind of randomly place them, but I do try to put them over the seams if I don't like something, or if it's got the raw edge that's the white, sometimes I'll try to cover up those seams. That's one of those bronze statues that was on either side of the clock. And then there are those fussy cut flowers. Those are really fussy cut, and they don't cover up a lot of the background image, so I really like how those laid in there. They gave a lot of interest, but yet they didn't mask anything. And I'm just going to do some basic collage today. You can really get into this, and I mean, you could do like a full stamping on it. You could put gold leaf on it. You know how I love my gold leaf. You could do all kinds of things. But my favorite way to collage is the background, the images, and then I like to put some gesso on it. That gives it a little bit of depth and some interest. And then I just do some shadowing, or outlining, I guess you could call it. So here I'm cutting that vintage mirror, that vintage sun mirror. And it's so funny because I see this in a lot of magazines, but it's one of my favorite things to cut up. It's just a classic vintage item. That swan is so pretty. I know I want to put that somewhere. I'm just not 100% sure yet. That right there was a little dog, and he was on his little bed. I just think it's fun to put little animals in here. I always try to lay items where I think they'll show up. So that's why I didn't lay it over there on the left, to the left a little bit on the flea market sign, because the background was darker. The swan looks amazing there. I love that collage piece. You always want to make sure and not put too much matte medium down too, because you want to make sure that you get all the air bubbles out. It's easier to put more on when you're putting the background if it's scrapbook paper, because you kind of need that, because the scrapbook paper is heavier, but not on these magazine pieces. That was the cutest donkey I found in that magazine. So I don't end up liking that flower there, but I thought the donkey was adorable. So I just switched that out, and the flower hadn't dried yet, so that worked out really well. I could just pull it right up and it didn't damage anything. If you want your background pieces to really show up, then you don't have to do as much images as I did. I just really, I don't know, I just went to town. I really was enjoying myself. Those books give me a little bit of trouble there. They have a ribbon tied around them, and it looks funky after I cut them out. So I'm going to split this up into several videos, and this is going to be the end of this one, and then I will see you in the next video for the next steps. Thank you. Bye-bye.